Welcome, fellow Toastmasters and most honored guests. It is really wonderful to see so many of you here today, the members of our club, Marie's husband, Manny Sardina, many of her most cherished friends, dignitaries, past and present, and of course, Marie Sardina. It's royalty up here, that's for sure. It is truly wonderful for all of us to be here together to celebrate this truly monumental occasion. To start, I see three dignitaries with us in the room, our current dignitaries. I see Brad Stoffer, our District Program Quality Director. And I see Tawanda Duck, our Division Director, who was last here in July. With us, Nicole Curtis Brown, our area director, who visited us twice. And now, starting off our meeting on the right foot, we have one of the rising stars in the club, who's serving currently as our club secretary, Maria Diaz.
Hi, good afternoon. Marie, I had some help from someone dear to you, Ms. Homa, with this thought of the day. The delicate balance of mentoring someone is not creating them in your own image, but giving them the opportunity to create themselves. Steven Spielberg.
Further ado, I would like to introduce our Toastmaster and Master of Ceremonies today. She too is a long-term member of Toastmasters and has also been a president of this club. She is very privileged today to be honoring Marie Sardina, who has been with this club nearly from its very beginning to this day, and who has impacted this club's members and its goals so much. Please put your hands together for our distinguished Toastmaster, Bonnie Kamen. Who was also recently referred to as Bonnie Cannon when she was a contestant on The Price is Right.
With this. Everyone please stand up except this table over here. If you can, stand up. If you can, stand up.
Okay.
Give me an M! M! Give me an A! A! Give me an R! R! Give me an I! I! Give me an E! E! What's that spell? Marie! What's that spell? Marie! What's that spell? Marie! Yay! Well, Marie, they passed the first test, they could spell. It's an honor today to come here and speak about Marie and have a day dedicated to Marie. It's actually Marie Day. She's a woman of great poise, of confidence, and with those superlatives, I thought, what kind of catchy phrase can I give her? She goes, oh. And I came up with classy bubble. I'm sure you never heard that before. It's my own phrase for you, and it's going to live on in perpetuity. And I remembered that they had Don Johnson, Earl Mealins, and they had Regina Rhymes. And it was a really top-notch club. And it had Marie. And Earl. Let's not forget Earl. All these distinguished Toastmasters together, I knew that would be a great home for me. And it has been. It's a wonderful club. So for all of you who have not been around for a while, there are applications in the back. During my tenure in the club, I have tapped into Marie's wisdom on multiple occasions. And Marie has helped me out. She's been the cornerstone of this club for a very long time. And she's been driving here from Lakewood. Do you know that? There are some people who don't know that. She drives from Lakewood to Torrance every week. For 30 years. I mean, that's dedication, not to mention the gas money. So today we're here to praise Marie and really not to roast her. Oh, thank you. But what the heck? So I queried Marie to get to know her better. Asked her, why 30 years with Torrance Chamber? Why 30 years? And she answered, well, Torrance Chamber, it's like an old sweater. I put it on once a week and I come to the meeting. She's wondering. But then as I got closer to 30 years, basically I wanted to know what kind of party they were going to throw for me. So I tried to dig up some dirt on this lady. And it's impossible. She's squeaky clean. She is the polar opposite of me. It's unbelievable. So you could spell before. Can you do the math? What year was it when Marie joined?
1989.
Very good, Tawanda. Yeah, she joined in 89. So back in 89, I took my fashion cues from movies like Sex Life, Lies, and Videotape, and Marie took them from Driving Miss Daisy. She's still laughing. And when Marie was campaigning for George Bush Sr. to get him to be the new president, I was at the Mirage in Las Vegas, the new hotel going up then, gambling my life away. And when Marie was sitting home listening to Frank Sinatra, I was at the Guns N' Roses concert. We are very different. And we all know Marie gives great evaluations as a Toastmaster. But when she started and she was a Toastmaster toddler, okay, some of her evaluations were a bit rough. Like the time you said to the person, what were you thinking to wear that? Oh, that's right, you weren't thinking. They were a bit rough. And the time that you said, your voice is different, a little like not a chirping bird, maybe a chair squeaking on the floor. Oh, it's a little rough. This was back when she was new. And she doesn't make people cry anymore. Just tell her like it is. But all kidding aside, Marie is a fabulous Toastmaster, and thanks for all you do. Although you are just one club member, if we lost you, I feel the club would be only half as good. So thank you, Marie. And with that, I am going to bring up someone else who wants to say a tribute. Heidi Swan has been a member of our club for 13 years, and Marie has been her mentor since that day. As the oldest surviving mentor, does it have anything to do with the evaluation? As the oldest surviving mentor of Marie's, she'd like to come and take the stage. So come and take the stage.
All right.
And 13 years ago, Marie offered to be my mentor. And I think a large part of the reason why I'm still here 13 years later is because I had the great help of Marie Sardina. Now, when you think of Marie, what's a word that comes to mind? Just throw it out.
Supportive.
Supportive,
Funny.
funny,
Smart.
smart,
Passionate.
passionate, yes. I think of steady and committed. And when I joined, I was shaky and unsure of what I was doing in this club. For instance, the first time I became Toastmaster, we were not as organized as a club as we are today. There was no schedule. There was no agenda for the day. It was, we have an agenda that is broken down to the minute to keep us on time. There was no agenda 13 years ago. Remember, Sue?
No, but I believe you.
John Guy can attest to it. Where did John leave?
No, he's right there.
Where? Remember, there was no agenda. Homero made that for us years ago. So the first time I was Toastmaster and General Evaluator, I had no idea when I was supposed to get up, no idea when it was like, okay, I'm down now, and now I'm up. I didn't know, and so I called Marie, and she said, it's okay. Just steady. And when you get through it, I will help you. And she did. And then afterwards, after I got through these, she stood up at the club at the end of the meeting. She said, it should not be this difficult for our new members to get through a new role. We have really got to support our new members, and I really appreciated that support. Additionally, the first year I was a member, I competed with a speech, and I went quite a long way up the Toastmaster competition ranks. And so I was in a lot of different clubs, in a lot of different rooms, and a lot of people were working these competitions where I had the great fortune to perform. After that was over, people started calling me and saying, can you help us at this competition? I was like, oh no. Is this how it works? Now do I have to spend all this time, working in competitions? And I had a young son at home. I had a stepson as well. I was working on my career. I was volunteering at school. And I was like, I'm not going to be able to go to all these competitions and help out. And I was like, Marie, what do I do? And you said,
No, tell them no.
that's what you said. And if she hadn't said that to me, I think I would have been even more shaky and even more unsure. And I said, I really like our club. I just don't know that I can be involved at that big scale because I don't have the time. And she said,
No, tell them no.
and she said, you can just be involved at your club level. It's okay. Everybody does Toastmasters as it works for them in their life. Some people it's great for them to go, that far. And other people, they simply can't do it. And so because of that, I was given a tremendous amount of peace. And I, as a Toastmaster, became steady and committed. And that is because Marie was steady and committed to me.
Now we are going to have a presentation of sorts. By Yumi. Sorry.
Arm just fell.
Yeah.
You're stretching.
So let's get to stretch. So we will have a presentation by Yumi, and turning it over to Yumi. Here you go, Yumi.
The occasion we're here to celebrate today is truly monumental in any context, but especially for Toastmasters. Toastmasters has so much to offer. but at its innermost core, it's our tenacity, our courage to improve ourselves, and our desire to serve that keeps us coming back. The member that we're here to recognize today has all of these characteristics in spades, and not just for one occasion, one day, 1 year, or even 10 years. It has been 30 years. This member joined the Torrance Chamber of Commerce Toastmasters Club almost at its inception, nearly 30 years ago. And along with the founding members of the club, she has shaped the club into what it is. And over the past 3 decades, she has nurtured and fostered its values of integrity, professionalism, and high standards. And during this time, this member has earned so many Toastmasters educational awards. She has earned 6 competent communicator, competent Toastmasters, and competent leader awards for our newer members. That's roughly the equivalent of 6 whole paths and pathways. On top of that, she has earned the Advanced Communicator Gold Award and the Advanced Leader Silver Award. And of course, she has earned the very highest Toastmasters Educational Achievement, DTM, Distinguished Toastmaster, and that was in 2011. She has given keynote speeches at Leadership Torrance, Torrance Small Business Association, and the Los Angeles Junior Chamber of Commerce, to name a few. She has won so many contests that she can't even remember how many it is. And she had gone on to compete at the district level and place second in table topics, no less. And she has served the club tirelessly, time and time again, in numerous officer roles. Marie has been Sergeant at Arms, Treasurer, Secretary, VP of Membership, and also the club president. She has served the district as area governor, district VP of Membership, district Sergeant at Arms, and she has trained the officers in the district at Toastmasters Leadership Institute. But most notably, this member inspires us with her humility, her generosity, and her selflessness. She has helped countless people in and outside of Toastmasters find their inner voice, give power to it, become better leaders, and ultimately to achieve their greatest dreams. It is with extreme honor that I would like to present this award to commemorate 30 years of incredible accomplishments and exemplary service to Toastmasters, to none other than the masterful, the inspirational, and perhaps quintessential Toastmaster, Marie Sardina. If you would, we would love to hear your wisdom.
You do not know how scary that is. It's very frightening. Okay, put all those down. A silly grin on your face. I want to thank all of you and Heidi for those wonderful words. It's always an honor to help especially when you can see them grow. That is the beauty of being a mentor, and Bonnie knows that, she's our mentor chair. When you help others and they become that person they just didn't realize it was inside them, and you can bring that out, oh, what a joy. It makes my heart sing. It definitely makes my heart sing. To see them, and I've seen Heidi grow in what she's accomplishing today with her campaign, and I've seen Homa, when she first started out, she was a little unsure, and she's just grown in so many ways, and every one of you, if I haven't helped you, that's okay. It's all right. But you have found your voice, you have found how to be more comfortable in front of a group of people, and to bring your message out. And that's really what it's about. That's what Toastmasters is about. It's helping one another and helping you find that voice that maybe was hidden or just right on the surface and you didn't know how to push it out. And that's what we do here in Toastmasters. We help each other do that, and we support one another. Thank you so much for this. Thank you.
And Brad, we would love it if you could please share a few words with us of your wisdom and congratulations.
Fellow Toastmasters, honored guests, especially Marie. It's great to see you again. Last time I saw you was in a contest,
Yes.
I believe. I was in the front row. And I have to admit, I have a lot of photos of you on my phone. And I didn't know your husband was going to be here, but I can show them to you later. There's some great photos there. I can text them to you. But that was one of my first experiences of you, and I really enjoyed how you showed up as a speaker and your presence that you held there that night. And what I've learned today more about you and how you've contributed to this club and to all of these lives that are here. From what I understand, what I heard is that you joined this club in 1989. According to the records, it chartered in March of 1990, so I suspect you're a charter member.
Not of this club. I never.
Not of this club. Okay.
Right.
All right. But you are a charter member of another club, I hear.
Well, they're no longer around.
Okay. 30 years in this club and participating in this club and other clubs is just the impact we've heard about the contribution that Marie has made to lives and to this club. And individuals like Marie are what makes a difference in Toastmasters. Those are the people that charter clubs like Torrance Chamber and other clubs that are here today and maybe not here today, but even if they're not here, there are lives that were touched because of people like Marie that were there at the beginning, that were there caring and giving and contributing to each person's life, no matter what that meant and how that looked and how much time that took. Even though she's evidently good at saying no, she still contributed in a major way to a lot of lives. And thank you for your dedication of 30 years of giving and giving and giving to people and touching lives so that they can move in their life and contribute to other people's life like you have contributed to theirs. Congratulations for 30 years. Congratulations for everything you've done. And it's great to celebrate you, Marie.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brad. Thank you very much. Once again, congratulations, Marie. I hope you enjoy the party.
Oh, I can. Let's dance. Are we dancing now?
And back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
for. These are our two Sues. And they are going to give a small tribute, lighthearted fun, to their friend, Marie.
Remember, no roasting.
Look what I found. Pound Plus.
It reminds me of Marie.
A Toastmaster. Plus so much more. A friend.
She's a mentor.
She's like a sister.
Or a mother.
A Toastmaster. Plus so much more.
Marie, I've been your friend for 6 years. I feel very privileged to get to know you. I feel on this journey through life, you're just a slightly older big sister to me. And you're about 5 steps ahead of me, but our lives have paralleled a lot. It's amazing what we have in common. And I appreciate your generosity and how much you're willing to share your experiences to help me through some of my rough spots in life. And just your whole attitude towards generosity and helping others. You've been a very true friend to me and a Toastmaster. Plus a whole lot more.
Oh, I've known Marie for 18 years. And I've served as secretary and DPM and president. And my head isn't always in the room. I don't know where it is, but it's not always in the room. And whenever I forget something or I don't know what to do, some kind of Toastmaster thing, I always would scan the room and find Marie. And I wasn't alone, and I've seen this for 18 years. I've witnessed this. When people don't know what comes next, what the protocol is, we find Marie. And you're always so generous and happy to help. And I wish I was like that.
Help again, help.
You're so sweet, and we all appreciate you. And one thing I really want to thank you for is those of us who knew Earl. When he came back after having his leg amputated, he had a rough time. He was very depressed. And we all, especially Marie, tried to keep Earl, because he was. He didn't remember that at first. And especially Marie and Earl had this thing going back and forth between them. They would always banter about time. Because Earl would get up there, whether he was Toastmaster or grammarian, and somehow he would always deliver speech no matter what. So Marie, no matter where she was, she would go find the red card and put it up. And Earl and her would just laugh and laugh. And so from the bottom of my heart, I'm so grateful for that, because we all tried, and especially you, to make Earl feel that he was loved and he was the same Earl that he always is and was and still is. I think all of us can say, it's like the cheer song says. Everybody knows your name, and we're always glad you came. Remember, my head's not always a long time to memorize this skit. So hold on, we'll take that. Marie, a friend, a Toastmaster, plus a whole much more.
Thank you, girls. That was great. The next person giving a tribute said, Maya Angelou said, people may forget what you said, they may forget what you did, but they will never forget how they made you feel. Please welcome our next speaker, Bilquis Ahmed, who has known Marie since 2003.
You know what else happened? The Energizer Bunny was introduced to the world 30 years ago. And we have our Toastmaster Energizer Bunny. She's still going. But when I was writing this tribute, the things that came to my mind were Khalil Gibran quotes. She epitomizes them. And I hope I don't cry. Well, first one is, when you give of your possessions, you don't really give. But when you give of your time, that's when you really give. And that's Marie. Okay, stop it. When I was in Saudi Arabia for 4 long years, Marie was there for me. She would email me and tell me about her life and the things that were going on, and some of the things that she was doing, like, oh yeah, I'm going to the Toastmasters meeting, and I'm mentoring a club that's in the community, and it's kind of rough, but I'm there. Oh, and I just started singing in the gospel choir. And Khalil Gibran says, sometimes a friend that is far is nearer than one that is at hand. Is it not true that the mountain is more awe-inspiring from afar when you're going through the valley than when you inhabit it? So looking from that distance, Marie was just awe-inspiring. She was doing things and helping in the same vein that she always did, but I could see it more clearly from there. And what was coming next? She's amazing. The first time that I spoke at the club, she told me, you know, you're a storyteller. And I looked at her and said, really? Because I never thought of myself as that. And she can see things in other people. And as someone said before, Maria, in your opening thought, that she doesn't impose herself, but she brings you to what's within. That's a beautiful thing that you do. And I'm going to stop now because I'm going to cry, but there's one more Khalil Gibran quote, and it's going to be paraphrased. And in the sweetness of friendship, let there be laughter and sharing of pleasures. For in the presence of Marie, my heart is refreshed and something.
Okay, now we have time for other people to give some tributes. So how we're going to work this is our timer is Junji. Junji, wave your hand so you know who he is. And we're going to give people a good minute and a half, probably, to speak. So Junji, if you could, at the minute and a half, you're done. So our first open mic speaker, as we're going to call it, would be Anne. One of our favorites in the club. Hi, Anne.
Marie, I always wonder, every time you give a speech, you're obviously well prepared. You follow every instructions in the book. And I rarely do that except for 3 speeches that I made. So the rest of it, I really kind of fake it.
You never do it.
How you did it? How you take the time to do it? I really don't know. But you set up a high standard for the club, and you maintain that standard. And we do appreciate what you have done in setting up that standard. Because if everybody's like me and not prepared, critique. I really appreciate all the critique you have done on my speeches. And even though I tried to take it to my heart and remember it, it never will. Thank you.
The next person to give a tribute is Stephen Wu.
Marie. 30 years. As I mentioned, 1989, Ronald Reagan was president. The wall came down in Berlin, and gas was under $1. Here's some more fun facts that'll show how significant 30 years is. In the last 30 years, there were approximately 1,560 potential Toastmaster meetings. Obviously, you didn't go to all of them, but let's just say you went to 80%. That would be 1,248 meetings. As Bonnie mentioned, you two live in Lakewood. And Google says that it's 17.1 miles to get to Torrance. So a round trip would take you 34 miles, 0.2. So over the course of 30 years, you have driven, this is unbelievable, I had to double check, but you have driven 42,681 miles. Wow. To put that in perspective, that's like driving to New York and back 7 times.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
I need a GoFundMe page.
Google also mentioned that it takes 35 minutes to drive here. So round trip would take 1 hour and 10 minutes. You know, you throw in 30 minutes to park, walk, and talk, and an hour meeting, that's 2 hours and 40 minutes for each time you came to Toastmasters. Thus, in the last 30 years, you have spent over 3,328 hours, which is equivalent to 138 days. You know, that's how long it takes NASA to send a probe to Mars. So what does that mean? Marie, you are out of this world.
Favorites is on the road a lot, giving tours to German tourists in Utah. And here's her tribute. Dear Marie, I can't do it with a German accent. Greetings from the road. Enjoy your celebration. What I can point out is you always are professional. You're in business clothes, as a good Toastmaster should be, but that's just the outside. What I want to point out is your commitment to our club and membership and mentorship in all areas. What I admire about you is you're always jumping. Oh, jumping in. Gary's jumping in, even when it gets uncomfortable, like at Earl's memorial service. Only someone with a big heart and someone and a good friend does that. Thanks, Marie from Bettina. Who would like to speak? Oh, we have Julie Brody. wondered, was she a district governor? Like, she just has that governor-esque appeal to her, because she just knows how to inspire so many people at one time. And I wanted to thank you in particular, because all through my 3 years of TRIO, Club Growth, Program Quality, and District Director, you helped me so much. She knew that I was a foodie, and she was too, and so we would go to restaurants and plan out, in Marie's words, how are we gonna help these members, Julie? And I loved her passion and her enthusiasm for each individual, for people that she hadn't even met yet. She wanted to help others and make sure that they were getting what they needed out of this organization. I couldn't even put into words at that time how important that was, and still is, will always be. In particular, my second year in district leadership as Program Quality Director, we were planning a fall conference, and Marie was our registration chair for the event. And I've never seen, it might as well have been a high performance leadership project, because I've never seen someone put so much enthusiasm into that role. Again, restaurants, we had meetings at restaurants. We could plan how to make sure we organized it. She had specific goals. Julie, I don't want to see more than a few people in line trying to check in for this event. We want people to come in and enjoy the day. She had a huge team and really was committed, again, to people enjoying themselves and the bottom line member for that day. Just another example of who you are as a person. So thank you so much. I'm forever amazingly excited to be your friend and continue to be friends forever. Thanks.
Who else would like to speak? Is that you, Tawanda, getting up, or
Oh.
do you have to leave?
Tawanda was going to discreetly sneak.
You got
She has a 3 o'clock meeting way on the other side of town.
Okay, Tawanda.
Oh, but I've been called out. Well, you're not supposed to do that when people are speaking.
We're next going to hear from Tawanda, a surprise tribute person.
Hi, everyone. I'm Tawanda, the one that was going to discreetly sneak out before I was outed. Marie, I've been a part of Toastmasters for about 4 years, and I've seen you work in and out. I've never had to work with you directly, but you did make an impact on my life, and I just think it's fair that I share the story with you. My legging experiences are more fabulous since hearing your speech. I have offered to go legging shopping with my friends.
The size matters.
The size matters, right? And so I want to thank, I know when you gave that speech, it was a humorous speech, but it has impacted my life tremendously. And have brought my friends and I closer than they ever imagined. So thank you. Congratulations. And now that you all know I'm leaving, it's been great. I'm celebrating my 5th year as a Toastmaster next year. I need to talk to the party planning people.
Bye, Tawanda. We'll miss you. Is there anyone else who mistakenly is going here? Who else would like to give a tribute? You would. Come on up.
All right.
I'm gonna cry, I'm Pauline, everybody, and I'm not a Toastmasters, I'm not in any club, except our church club. We go to church together, we sing together, and I just want to share something about Marie. The same same way you see her at Toastmasters and all her effort and all her help and everything she does for everybody is the same way she is at church. Even to the point of just picking up the collection baskets and putting them away. Everything that she does for our church, she's amazing. And we've only known each other for 5 years, but I feel like I've known her forever. So, Marie, it's an honor to be here and to celebrate what you do here. But I see the Marie at church, and she is amazing. So thank you for having us here. All right, I'm not crying anymore. Thank you.
She's amazing here too. The amazing doesn't end.
Yeah. It's in perpetuity.
It is in perpetuity. It goes there.
All right, Betty. Yes.
Yeah.
She's gonna cry? Yeah. Wait, get the tissues.
I've been doing it all the time, right over here. It was, yeah. All of them.
Okay.
Anyway, I got really lucky when I married her. and God, you know, I failed, and there's like no more chances. And then Marie came up. It was funny, it was at a party and stuff, and I called her up and to go out on a date or something, and she goes, oh. And then later on, it's like, I call her back and I said, well, I can't make it because I'm sick. And I could hear in her voice, I go, who is this guy? So, and when I hung up that time, I was thinking, this is going to be more work than I thought. So she, and it's through my entire life for the kids. The kids would have been dead by now if it hadn't been for her. Right from the beginning, I didn't know anything about timeouts. And then it got to the point where my son would run by us and he'd sit in the corner and fold his arms and that'd be it. He must have done something bad. But my daughter, no. She didn't want to go, and you tell her to go in the room, no. And then it wasn't a strong door, but she was only like 4 or 3. She put her hands underneath the door and she started pulling on the door, and it started cracking. Oh my God! No. So anyway, I held the doorknob, and then Marie would go, well, she can't go in there. It's dark, and I'm thinking, that kid is not scared of the dark. She's not scared of us. She's not scared of anything. So, but it worked in times when I felt like I just wanted to walk out and not, you know, and because I felt wronged and I didn't really think I could stay there any longer. She's the one that told me what I should do, how to do it, what to say. So, and the kids always say, they ask me a question, I go, I don't know. She goes, well, we don't even know why we asked you. Because whatever answer you give, Mom can override it. And it's been fun, and I wouldn't have wanted to raise those 2 kids with anybody else. I thought it's pretty amazing. And I'm proud of you guys, and I'm proud of her. And thank you.
You made it.
Is there anyone else who would like to do? John. Oh, John.
Yeah.
Go. Yes.
I was drafted. Head of the Veterans Committee. But I joined Toastmasters during the last century. I wandered into the building and I was looking for this Lamaze class. I just wandered into this Toastmaster building meeting, and I sat down, it's kind of interesting. So, and the first speaker I heard was Marie. Do you remember?
No,
I don't either, but it might have happened. But I gave a lot of speeches. I was in this club for 19 years, gave a lot of speeches, and she was often my evaluator. And she wasn't nice at all. The longer I was in the club, the meaner she got. She was always picking on me with ands. You connect your sentences with ands all the time. I thought, God, she'll never lets up every single speech. And so I have to practice my speeches without using ands all the time. But